Hello, welcome to video number 9 of this Pandas series. Today we are going to look at grouping and aggregating data. Okay, let's start by drag and dropping the data frame we're going to use for this video. It's the same one we used for video number 5. It's 20 rows. So let's load our dataset. Import as PD. Data frame is equal to pandas.read CSV pirates 09.csv. I think that's the name. Yes. So here's our data frame. So we have the 20 rows: name, crew, role, bounty, age, has devil fruit, hometown, fights won, and fights lost. We can use this one to do some examples of the group by. So let's see it. df dot group by crew. So Pandas has done the split, but hasn't applied anything yet. We need to add an aggregation. That's why it returned the group by Pandas object. So group by crew, and then we want on the column bounty to do a sum. This is an example. And here we go. Grouped by crew, return the series, right? Where the index is the grouped by crew. And on the column bounty, the values are the sum of all the values of each group. Does that make any sense? Well, I don't know. So basically this responds a question. What is the total bounty per crew? So it added all the straw hats, all the marines. So that's why marine we get 0 and straw hats we get this big number, right? So let's do another example. Instead of sum, let's get the mean. And here's the mean bounty per crew. Let's do a count. And it gives us how many of each. 5 straw hats, 5 marines. This will work the same if we do it on any other column, I guess. 554141. Yeah, 554141. So there's a whole bunch of these. Max gives us the maximum bounty of each group, and then min will give us the minimal mean bounty of each group. So roles. On the straw hat we've got different roles, so let's do an example of this one, which is on the role. Let's nunique. Return number of unique elements in the group. Returns a series of unique values within each group. So on StoreHub, we have 5 different roles, Marines 4, etc. We can, so this returns a series, right? We can chain series methods. For example, group by crew bounty. Let's go back to the sum and then let's chain sort values ascending equals false. So that means descending. And here we go. The same series we got before on the sum, but now we change sort values by descending order or ascending equal to false. We can also group by more than one column at a time. Just pass a list instead of a single column name. So let's do an example. Let's ask for a combination of crew and whether they have devil fruit or not, and what is the average bounty. So group by, and then on the group by method, we pass in a list. Crew, comma, has devil fruit, and then on the bounty column we do a min. Let's see what this returns. So it like subgroups, right? For Alvida Pirates and Arlong, Alvida, all of them have devil fruit. Arlong, all of them do not have. And then, for example, Straw Hats, the ones that do not have devil fruit, this is the average bounty. And the ones who do, which it's only Luffy, this is his bounty at the beginning of the series, at least, no? And notice how the name of the column is like on the second line. It's because these are 2 indexes on this series. So it's a series with 2 indexes. We can do a dot reset index function. So with the index, creates one with the index reset. And we get a data frame with a normal index column of numbers, right? And the crew and has devil fruit is a column. So we group by 2 different columns and then aggregated only on 1 column. Now let's do the other way around. Let's group by 1 and do the aggregate functions on more than 1 column. So let's df group by and then only by the crew, and then on the columns we're going to do aggregate. Guess what? We do a list inside, so bounty, and then is this the name? Yeah, fights 1. Let me copy paste. Fights 1 and then comma fights lost. And what are we gonna do on those? Let's get the mean value. Let's do the reset index again, just because I do not like this. Like this. Here we go. And then, if we want different columns with different aggregations on each, we do this. df dot group by crew. Oops. And then dot ag, and inside the parentheses we pass in we pass a dictionary, and we specify for each column name what aggregate we want. And then, why is this? And for fights won we want the mean, fights lost we want mean, and for the name we want the count. Does this make any sense? So we're gonna group by crew just like we did here, and then for these 3 columns we want different things. On the bounty we want the sum. Here we did the mean on all of them. So now we want the sum on the bounty, mean on the fights won and lost, and then we want a count of what's inside each of the crew. Let's dot reset our index. And here we go. We have 1 person on Alvida Pirates, 1-9, 1-4, etc. We have 5 straw hats. The sum of their bounty is this. This is the average of the fights won, average or mean of the fights lost. And now, what happens if for the same column we want multiple aggregation functions? So we go like this: df dot group by crew, and then for the only 1 column bounty we want to aggregate. There's some syntax here. Sum, mean, max, like this, count. So on the ag function we pass in a list of all the aggregate functions we want on this column. So let's see, and then just for good measure let's reset our index anyways. So for the bounty we get a whole bunch of statistics. What happens in this case if we do not? Yeah, this is our index. The grouped by becomes our index. I like this better. So here we got different aggregate functions for this bounty column, but we can't see the name bounty on the column names. So let's do what are called named aggregations. So we can name each column group by, and then we want to group by crew, then call our aggregate function, and here we specify bounty. These are the arguments we need to pass the aggregate function: a name or a variable name, and then pairs of data, a tuple with what column and what aggregate function. And then let's call the next column average wins and set it to equal to the tuple pair data, not flights, fights 1, comma, do the mean on this one, comma, let's copy here, average losses, fights lost, the mean, and then let's do member count equals name count, and then let's do reset index from the get-go. So let's run this. So this way our output is readable and immediately usable, right? Because each column name means something. To end this video, let's look at a little shortcut. If we just want to know how many rows belong to each group, so df crew, right? This returns a series of all the crew. And then if we apply the dot value counts, we get a series of how many rows per group by crew. Dot reset index. We can also reset the index on this. And here we go. So on this video, we learned the split, apply, combine mental model behind the group by. We used common aggregations, mean, max, count, and unique, number of unique. We grouped by multiple columns, and then we aggregated on multiple columns. Then we applied different aggregation methods on one column. Then we did different aggregation methods on different columns. Here. Then we did the named aggregation method. And then we saw this little shortcut. So that's it for this video. In video number 10, we are going to do some combination of data frames, merging data frames, joining, concatenating, when our data comes from multiple tables. So that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. See you on the next one.